What is up, guys? So I have got my train deck profile for you here today. So this deck profile, I really like trains. Trains is just a fun deck. But this deck profile, when I first made it, I was a bit confused at just how effective it was, because it just trains is such a weird deck. I mean, they're good at doing one thing, but it's like it's like a train. When they start moving and they start heading towards that one win condition, it's so hard to stop them. And I love the fact that they can just beat over everything in the format. Dragoon format is a frustrating format, but trains don't care that much because they can just beat the hell over Dragoon without any challenge, or they can make this lovely Super Dora and just be unaffected by Dragoon's effects as well, which is amazing. So I mean, it's such a strong deck. Really does the job, this format. I like it as a going second, and it's just in general a fun one to play as well because it's very effective. But let's go straight into the profile. So we'll start with the train card. So we're going to be playing 3 Knight Express Knight, very good card. This one, when it's normal summon, you can normal summon it without tributing, but its attack becomes 0. Then we play 3 Super Express Bullet Trains. So this card can't declare an attack unless you send 2 other cards you control to the graveyard. You're never going to do that. You can only use all of these effects once per turn. If all your monsters are Earth Machines, you can special summon this from your hand for free. And during the end phase, if it's in the graveyard because it was sent there this turn, you can target a machine monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. Another really good card for the archetype. And this card plus Derricrane, I mean, the amount of pluses you get off that is just lovely. But anyway, speaking of, we have Heavy Freight Train Derricrane. So this card says if an Earth Machine is normal or special summoned to your field, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand, but its original attack and defense become halved. You can only use this effect once per turn. If it's detached from an XYZ monster and sent to the graveyard to activate that monster's effect, target one card your opponent controls and destroy it. So that effect is amazing because it basically means you get a Dryden on whatever XYZ monster you make with this. I mean, what an effect is that? It's so good. Imagine, I mean, there probably is another archetype that has an effect like that, but I can't think of it. But it's a really good card in your deck. We then play 3 Flying Pegasus Railroad Stampede. So this piece of support was amazing with the deck. It really did do a lot. So if it's normal or special summon, you can target an Earth Machine monster in your graveyard, except this one, special summon it in defense, and then negate its effects. You can target one other face-up monster you control. The level of that monster or this card becomes the level of the other. You cannot declare attacks the turn you activate this effect, except with XYZ monsters, and you can only use each effect once per turn. So a really good card. Obviously allows you to basically get a free level 10 as long as you a level 10 XYZ, as long as you have another Earth Machine in your grave, which is very easy to do because you've got so many Earth Machines. Or you could do rank 4s, though I don't think there's any rank 4s really worth playing. There's a rank 4 train, but it's just too slow to play, so no one really plays it. But really good card, love it. And it gives you a strong normal summon for the deck finally, which is one of the things the deck desperately needed. Moving on from that, we have their field spell, Revolving Switchyard. So for level 10 Earth Machine monster is normal or special summon to your field except during the damage step. Activate this effect, your opponent takes no battle damage for the rest of this turn. Also, you can special summon 1 level 4 Earth Machine monster with 1800 or more attack from your deck, and if you do, it becomes level 10. Send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard, add 1 level 10 Earth Machine monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use 1 effect per turn and once per turn. So the first effect is the better effect for winning the game, because what that essentially does is it gives you a free way to kind of OTK your opponent, as long as you can get 1 Earth Machine on the field. However, the second effect is also a really good effect, just because if you're in the unfortunate position where you haven't got any kind of starters in your hand, the second effect does let you add any Earth Machine as long as you send a card from your hand to your graveyard. Sorry, other way around. So the second effect is really good for allowing you to start your combos. The first effect, it does stop you from OTKing, but it's still a really good effect for extending. So really good field spell, we do like it. However, I do play it too because, in my opinion, while it's nice to get Revolving Switchyard, it's not as instrumental as just seeing 2 Earth Machines, which isn't too hard to do for this deck. We also play 3 Urgent Schedule. This is an insane card, so if your opponent controls more monsters than you, special summon a level 4 lower and a level 5 or higher Earth Machine monster from your deck, and then negate their effects. You can't declare attacks the turn you activate this card except with machine monsters, and if it's sent from the field to the graveyard when it's still on the field, add a level 10 machine monster from your deck to your hand. This card, everything about it is awesome. I mean, when you resolve this card, this is also another game ender, just so good. But moving on, let's go into the non-train monsters. So we play 3 Yugioh. Main reason we play him is just because he is level 10, so that if it does come up on our side of the field, we can use him to rank up. One thing you need to know as well, it doesn't really matter that he's got 3300 attack. All of your trains can easily go over that. I mean, you've got a train that can go up to 4000 attack. So you really don't need to worry too much about Yugioh. He's not going to be an issue for you. He's really a good card to have. We play 1 Shadow Beast and 1 Shadow Dragon for a Shadow package, just because it's very, very nice to bring out that Shekinaga, and then you get a free draw on a pop, or free draw, a free pop, and then also you can use him to rank up. We have the 3 Cyber Dragon. Cyber Dragon is such a good card just to start off your combos by clearing something off the board, and then you can go into Mega Fleet, another rank 10 that you can use for rank 10 trade play. Then we play 3 Lightning Storm in the main deck. This is one of the best main deck cards for this deck because it's just so versatile. Front row or back row, it will deal with something and then allow you to play. Desires, you don't really care about banishing anything in this deck. Even losing your Shadows is not the end of the world. So yeah, but that is really, really good for this deck because you don't really care about what you get rid of. Then 3 Shadow Fusion, obviously, to go with the Shadow pieces. We've got the Terraforming for more consistency. Monster Reborn, again, just for bringing back some of your trains or bringing back something so you can do more plays. Set Rotation is a really good spell in this deck as well. You can get, usually you're going to be using this to get to Mystic Mine. It's unlikely you would use this to get to Revolving just because it's risky to give your opponent a Mystic Mine unless you know you can kill them that turn. And then 3 Mystic Mine. This deck tends to only use 1 monster, and so it's a really, really good card for this deck because you can use this for something like a lead, and then it becomes impossible for them to stop you smashing into them several times as 6000 monster. But moving on to the extra deck, so we play 1 double-headed Anger Knuckle. I feel like this card is overrated. Maybe I'm just not that good at trains, but I still haven't really found a scenario where I really want to go into this card 9 times out of 10. Most of the time, I see this card and I'm like, I'd rather make a rank 10 train in OTK than go into this, or I'd rather make a Dora and sit on it than go into this. But we still play a 1 just for the deck. We have 1 Pentastag, very good if you do have excess materials, but it's rare. So all of these link 2s, one thing you have to keep in mind, it's rare you're going to have the materials to go into these link 2s and stuff. So if you're going into them, it's because you need to, really, really need to. Most of the time, you're just going to OTK them with a train. But anyway, Pentastag, if you have materials, we are great to go into. Clearthought Genius is a good situational out to certain decks, especially because it's unaffected by spell and trap effects, which is really good. Got our Nightmares, which are really, really nice as well for removing problems. Megaclops is surprisingly easy to go into the deck. I wouldn't say easy, but it's more common than you'd think because a lot of your trains end up sticking on the board because they're so strong and so hard to remove. So Megaclops is a good monster for this deck. If you do get out, you're probably going to win. And Access Code Talker for a similar reason. If you do end up with the materials to go into it, it's just a nice big body to have on the field. Then we're going to go into our trains. So we have 2 Gustav Max, our burn guy, really, really good one. Then we have Dora. This makes itself unaffected by card effects, and it's also got 4000 defense, so it's going to be very hard to get over. Gangradai, another one that can pop a monster on the field. Then we have Lieb, the new boss monster of the deck. Well, one of the new ones anyway. But yeah, so this is a really good card. It can get up to 6k attack, can attack every monster. +1 depending on how many XYZ materials it has. Just a really, really good card in general. Then moving on to our extra deck, we have 3 Imperm. Imperm is the best hand trap this format, but I don't play in the main deck in this deck just because I don't think it's really as effective at achieving what you want. You're more about breaking boards. Zexal and stuff is an issue, which is why it's in a side deck in case they have something like a Zexal, but you're more about breaking boards. You don't want to just negate one monster. You can't afford to do that. When you're playing rogue decks, you need to keep in mind you can't afford to be doing these 1-for-1 trades. You need these big swings in card advantage. That's why things like Mystic Mine, things like Lightning Storm are a lot better, because if you're going to be wasting time negating one monster, well, what's going to happen is that meta deck is simply going to go, okay, and then they're going to gain advantage somewhere else, and now you've gone -1 and you can't recover from it because you need a lot of cards to actually do your combo. So that's why I don't have Imperm in the main deck, especially in this going second deck. Then moving on, 3 Tactical Talents, good card, a good side deck card. It deals with Dragoon and stuff like that as well, which is lovely. 3 Ash Blossom as well, just in case you need it. This is mainly for dealing with Dragoon again. If you're against a Dragoon deck, this is a great card to have. 3 Phantasme, a really, really nice card against link decks and things like Salad and such. And then 3 Nibiru. Nibiru is really nice because it's going to be quite easy to get over the token with your deck as well. You've got multiple ways to pop it and multiple ways to just beat over it. So guys, that is my trains deck.